Happy Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday, right? Yes. Um, Welcome to another episode of Mind Over Mystery. The replays are on my YouTube. I have an email up there, so anybody wants to email me topics to talk about, they are anonymous. Feel free to do so. I'm still getting comfortable with this, so bear with me a little bit. Still a little nervous wreck about it, but as time goes on, well, that's good, Derek. There's no complaints here either. Welcome in, Tim. So, today, I want to touch on, since I haven't touched on the mystery part of why I started this podcast, is strange and things that's happened, you know, that you ran across news stories or things like that, or just strange things that's happened in life. For instance, I ran across a news story a while back, years and years ago, about a man that broke into a woman's house, and he went back later and he asked the woman on a date. And I'm like, I don't yuck anybody's yum. I don't. I don't judge people because people do things that are just unknown. So it's like, I don't know if he thought, for some reason, I don't know. She said she had noticed that she recognized him. I guess she saw him like when he left the house and she didn't get a real good description of him, but she recognized him from some reason that she broke. And it's like the dude had, he went back, and it's like, come on, really? Why would you go back? But again, people do strange things. I've learned that. I've learned that about that people just do some strange things. Oh, welcome in, kid. Kayla Reese. Yes, I've seen stuff like that too, Derek. I've read some stories that there was another story that I read about a guy. He broke into a house and then he just went into bed and fell asleep. I mean, I don't know if he was drinking. I don't know if he was on drugs or, I don't know. I don't know the story of why. It's just it makes you to wonder, like, hey, is there something wrong with them mentally, or they just don't care, or they're trying to purposely get themselves in trouble because they don't have a place to stay, and things like that. I have seen things. Welcome, Miss Sam. I have seen things. Uh, I have seen things where, personally, where a guy left a he emptied his grocery cart and put his stuff in the back of his truck and left his shopping cart behind his truck and then backed out over it. And I'm like, either he was drunk or he didn't see it, or he didn't realize he left it. Welcome in, authentically me. Um Thank you for the heart, me, Tim. So I don't know why he did it. So I question, like, we have done some weird and strange things in our lives, like un unintentionally have done some things that we didn't, and I think it's part of our subconscious. Like, sometimes our subconscious might have us do things without realizing that we do them. And it's like, I wonder, because I was, when I was a kid. Thank you, Kayla. Thank you for the heart, me. When I was a teenager, about 12 or 13, you know, I there was a pot on my cousin's counter in his apartment, and it just flew off the counter. So it's like strange and mysterious things that's happened to us. It's like when you walk into a room, it's like, why, you don't remember why you walked into a room. And I don't think that's just a age thing all the time. I think it's also just memory, or something like that. Um, so again, weird and strange things that's happening. Like right now, everybody's talking about the drones or UFOs. Uh, Sorry about that. Drones or UFOs that's flying around. Now, whether they're drones or UFOs, I don't know. I have no idea. So, whatever it is, thank you, Sam, for the heart me. Whatever's going on, we're eventually going to find out one way or another. Somebody's going to say something and realize that we are not here alone. Because anybody that follows my wife, go check out her philosophical question for today, and make your comments about that. So on to something else. Let's see about some odd and weird things that I've came across. I came across people that enjoy, different things, and okay. I was just fed a story. It says a fugitive gains fame in New Orleans for eluding dart guns and nets. It says for months a fugitive dog known as Scrim has transfixed the city of New Orleans. He's a 17-pound mutt, and he's gained fame eluding a tenacious band of citizens wielding a tranquilizer dart gun and night vision binoculars. Now, welcome in, Lilo. Now, I don't know why they're chasing this dog with dart guns and nets trying to capture it. If it's a stray dog and they're trying to capture it I don't know why. You should leave that. Thank you, Lilo. You should leave that to the professionals. You should let the professional animal wranglers, or whatever you want to call them, handle that, because I've discussed it before. What if you drive something into traffic, or you scare it and it just causes more traffic and more harm than it should be? Oh, okay. I was just informed the SPCA has been trying to catch it. Oh, okay. Well, like I said, you citizens, you shouldn't try and do that, because you can cause more harm than good, in my opinion. So, in any animal, you should leave that, because they have animals that escape the zoos all the time, and then now, if you're on a highway and you come across a dog or a cat or a turtle or something trying to cross the highway, yeah, I see you trying to help it. Yes, that's cool, but if you got to be careful. It's okay to try to save an animal. I'm not saying that it's not, but if it's in the neighborhoods and stuff like that, you can probably drive it to. Thank you, Kiki. You can probably drive the animal into more harm than anything, and you don't want to see that. You don't want to see, regular normal people driving an animal, chasing an animal, trying to catch a wild animal in your neighborhood. Because I've seen stories on the news where that turkeys, when have a good day at work, Kiki. I've seen stories on the news where people were they have turkeys in their neighborhood, and these turkeys are chasing after them, because most animals are territorial. Most animals, wild animals, hogs, boars, they're all territorial. So if you get in their space, of course they're going to be mad. So it's like, to me, give them their space. If they're not causing any problems, don't bother them. So I don't know. I don't believe in trying to do more harm than good when it comes to chasing animals. So there's another story. Michigan high school choir belts out holiday tunes from a towering, not near a Christmas tree, but rather in it. So wait, I'm looking at the picture. It's a Christmas tree, like lights, and it looks like it's hollow on the inside.
They're standing in the Christmas tree.
They're standing inside the Christmas tree, and they are performing a holiday concert. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's different, and it's okay to be different. I've said that to many people. It's okay to be different, be yourself, and that's pretty cool to do that, because they got people out here that love Christmas. They absolutely enjoy Christmas, and for kids to do that, it must make them feel feel good to belt out Christmas under that, because I could imagine sitting in the Christmas tree lights that's hollow. It's like a Christmas tree, and there's nothing. It's just like lights, and they're inside singing. I just can imagine the sound that's belting out of the Christmas tree lights. It's got to be pretty cool. I love to watch light displays. If you run across them, they have them floating all over TikTok for the for the past years. They have them floating on IG, the Book of Faces, the Tube of You. People have the lights set to go on and off with a song, and that's pretty cool too. I don't have the expertise to figure out how to do that, but the people that do that are pretty talented. The light displays that, even for Halloween and Christmas, mm, music, excuse me, that they do with the light shows is pretty darn awesome. And on the TV show America's Got Talent this year, they had a drone company that synced their drones to light displays. So, on to another story that I just was fed to my producer by my producer. A Pennsylvania company who divorced couple, excuse me, who divorced in 1975 to remarry on Sunday. So 50 years ago, they got divorced. They first met because he was her older brother's best friend, and she says he told him that he was going to marry her someday. So wait, there was a couple and they was married once,
Right.
and they divorced, and
Now they're gonna get married again.
now they're gonna get married again. That happens quite a bit sometimes. I've seen people get divorced and remarried 3 times. I mean, I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't yuck anybody's yum. I don't know why would you get divorced and remarry 3 times. I could see it once because my first marriage we separated. We tried to work it out, so we tried to fix it. I can understand one time, you know, but again, I don't judge anybody. If that's what you do, as long as it makes you happy, that's cool. You know, I'm also big. I love haunted stories. I love watching stories about haunted places and mysterious individuals like spirits and ghosts. Because I've experienced some stuff like that as a kid too. The ghost town of Thurber, Texas. The rise and fall of mining ghost town with the real ghost. Now, whether you believe in ghosts or not, that is not for me to try to convince you that they exist. I have a theory that our loved ones play tricks on us. Um, in our house, when we know this abandoned mining town, there are ghosts seen around town by tourists. Yes, they. I do believe that they make their presence known to certain people. For whatever reason, they make their presence known to let certain people see them. And again, like I said, I think our loved ones play tricks on us, or their spirits and their souls play tricks on us. When you absolutely think that you put something somewhere, and then it's misplaced, and then you don't find it for a while, and then all of a sudden you find it. People say, they make the joke and say, "Oh, it's gnomes." No, I, excuse me, in my opinion, think it's our loved ones that do that to us. Because what, two, almost 3 months ago, when we was having our house, we was putting our house, packing it because they were going to put the tile down and take up the carpet. We seem to have lost the key to our safe that had all of our documents in it, all of our, our birth certificate, things like that. We absolutely could not find the key. Nowhere, nowhere, nowhere. I was almost to the point to where I was going to have to try to figure out how to break the lock and force myself into it. Because all it was our documents, and I didn't want to go through trying to reorder all of that. Our marriage license and all of that fun stuff. Well, we had bought a new safe We hadn't started. Excuse me. We haven't started using it yet. And a couple of days ago, I was looking up ways to try to figure out how to. It's just a fireproof safe. It's not one of them safes um that's meant to be that's proof. It's fireproof more than anything. So Kay, my wife, was like looking through one of her drawers by her desk, and I was in the kitchen, and she said, "Guess what I found?" And I was like, it didn't dawn on me, and I come back and she found the key. For whatever reason, that key was misplaced, and then all of a sudden it just magically appeared. Why? I couldn't tell you because I'm not going to question it. Things happen the way they happen. And for me, I just believe it's our soul, our friends and souls and our loved ones playing mind tricks. There's times that I've misplaced stuff for months and swore up and down that it was here, and then it just magically appears out of nowhere, and it's like, hey, where to go? So absolutely, I think they have spirits and ghosts. I think there is a difference. There really is a difference between spirits and ghosts. Um, it's just that our loved ones just like, I guess they like to play fun jokes on us for whatever reason. They do it. I couldn't tell you. Another story. When I was learning how to drive, my dad told me that I always had to pay attention to the road, and it was important that I not be startled by anything I might see. A second after he said that to me, a man wearing a kilt and playing bagpipes ran in front of the car chasing after a small hedgehog. How could I not be startled by that? Another good example of that, like that story right there, um, is yes, it's you can be startled by a lot of things when you're driving. It's some people it's very easily, and there I also saw stories where people had was driving and somebody was talking to them, but they wasn't actually in the passenger seat. It's I think it's a subconscious thing that we hear. Like every once in a while, I'll hear my grandmother tell me things, or I'll hear my uncle tell tell me something that I never heard him say before, and it's like, is he telling me this to, make me stop and think, or is he trying to help me on a different path? Is he trying to help me figure out which path I should choose to go down? Because um, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, so I believe in many different things that wave our life. That the choices we make decide which road we go down. And maybe he's helping me in his own way, or my grandmother, or my dad, or any of my aunts that's helping me help me guide that direction. I don't know. So more horror stories and more weird stuff is when people talk about seeing, you know, when they're in the woods and they hear these noises and they look around and there's nothing there. What they got the famous ghost forest, that where people unalive themselves at, and they hear when they walk through it, they hear whispers and you know things like that. It's scary to some people, and it's interesting to others. And to me, back to when I was saying when I was a kid, there was a where I grew up. There was a bunch of woods in the back before they. Now it's not there. It's all buildings and stuff. There was an old warehouse, and when I was growing up, they used to you know warn us about um, Satan worshippers and all that, and I was like, what is that? And that when you would go in there and you see the pentagrams and you see all of this evil writing, and to me, it's how you interpret it. But anyway, there was a board on the ground, and all of a sudden it raised up off the ground, and it was just floating in the air. And at first it scared me, and I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, my cousin and my friends got to be playing tricks on me because I saw them over there. It's like, man, they got to be playing tricks on me. I walked over there and I literally just I wrote with my hand above the board and below the board, all around it like that, and there was nothing holding it up. And then all of a sudden, it fell to the ground. That right there made me also think that there's spirits and there's ghosts out and among us. There's a lot of unexplaining things that goes on in this world. Like you look back to the Egyptians and people there's an argument from both sides, how they built the pyramids, that they used like some kind of pulleys, and then there's other ones that aliens helped them build the pyramids. There's so many theories out there in this world for that. So again, you have to make your interpretations yourself when it comes to things like that, because not everybody is going to see it the same as you see it. Yes, is there aliens among us? Yes, but do they look like the ones on TV? And what's that movie that Mel Gibson's in?
Signs.
Signs is, or is it looks like the ones that are in Independence Day?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. I don't really think the aliens look like that. I think they're just honestly. Sometimes I believe that they're watching us as a TV show, and they're laughing at us. Like we watch stuff on TV and we see movies. I think there's other worlds that are watching us as a movie, like we are a movie to them, and it's crazy because you can't. The universe is so big. Thank you. The universe is so widely huge that we don't know what is out there, what could be out there, and what is going to happen. What's going on right now is we've has been crazy with the drones, and are they UFOs, or they drones, are they finally coming to Earth? Because a while back they had was it that signal they've been trying to they finally heard something back for a signal they've been transmitting into space. They finally heard something back, or whatever it was. I'm not sure the story, but they've been transmitting a signal into space for years, and
Hold on, I'm getting there.
wait. One day I was chilling on my porch. All of a sudden, I heard a source of commotion. Turns out two squirrels were fighting with two magpies over a slice of pizza. Hmm. So, another thing that my producer wife fed to me, because like I said, I don't want to stop and Google anything, so I don't have to take up too much time, because that would take longer than a half hour of a podcast to stop and Google stuff. That's why it's good to have somebody to help you. She fed me a story. It says, according to May 2023 article in New Science, scientists, aliens living near stars reached by Pioneer 10's signals could theoretically respond by 2029. NASA has been sending powerful radio signals towards spacecraft since 1972 using the Deep Space Network. Yeah, they've been feeding a radio signal or something. And then what's that movie with the it's a TV series, and it's also a movie about the guy with the radio and frequency. You know, how do we know what's real with that? Because he was talking. What was he talking to his dad? His past self.
He was talking to his dad.
He was talking to his dad who had died before like when he was a kid. And with all of the stuff that's out there, I've seen stories where somebody has said they've traveled, like they see these photos where people has traveled back in the past, and you can see them in a photo from back then, or you see them travel to the future and they come back. It's so much mystery out there in this world that we can touch on, and I really really love reading about stuff like that, because it makes you think. It's here to make you think what's real and what's not real. And time travel, is it possible? It could be, but are we there yet? I don't know. They got the movie Looper where you can travel back in time and then you change the whole history of your life. The whole theory with the Marvel universe, when you glitch the thing and then it can mess up the future. How do we know that's not a thing? I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. I'm only going by what I read. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know what's possible. I'm only going by what I read and what I hear, because you make your own determinations on, you know, parallel universe. Is it possible? I brought up a question on my page a month ago about, if you had a chance to meet yourself from another universe, would you want to? Or would you want to meet yourself from another timeline to ask yourself questions? If it couldn't mess up your future, if they would, like they say the glitch in the matrix, if you could talk to yourself in another, from another timeline, from another universe, like in the TV series Flash, when they have 99 different universes and they have each, yourself is different in each one. If you could meet and talk to yourself and it would not change your future, would you? I would, just to see how they are different, because they had the experiment where two twins that were separated at birth, that didn't even know each other, they didn't even know they were twins, um, that they grew up separate from each other, and they wound up liking dressing, having the same haircut, liking the same hobbies. It's things like that that makes you go, like, why? How is this possible? Is it because it's just a bond that they shared? 8, 9 months old. Is it something? Is it genetic? Is it something that's genetic that has them grow up like that? It's not all twins, but you know. And another thing, back to the whole alien and all of that. I was just fed this information. NASA has been receiving signals from a location that used to be a star that went supernova 20 years ago, but they have not been able to decode it. So it's like, kind of like when you come across hieroglyphics or ancient writing, you can't. It's not. You don't know how to decode it, so you're only interpreting what you think is the wording, and not exactly what it is. Because if you wasn't there in that time when it was created, it's hard to actually recreate it. It's hard to interpret it, because they have some writings, that ancient writings, that have taken years and they still cannot figure out what it means. Um, Things like that. So, um, it is almost time to end my episode. So, I would like to thank everybody that showed up, anybody that's on the outside listening, for giving me your time to spend with me. I thoroughly enjoy it. And if you didn't show up, the recording is on my thing. Uh, it's on my YouTube. I have an email. And this has been another episode of Mind Over Mystery. Y'all have a wonderful day, and hope that I will see you again next time.